Here we go again. Alright. An entire week, I think more, has passed since the last turn of this game, and that is because the ruse has been found out. The ruse has indeed been found out. The Slurpono betrayal of their allies has been found out. They figured out that the only way that the fleet that destroyed the Gurak homeworld, the only way it could get into the home system was through the system, the home system of the Slurpono here, and that there really was a minefield here that we can't see that really should have triggered. But alas, it didn't. The minefield that was on the other side, owned by the Gurak, did trigger after all. But there were apparently some 94 mines here that did not trigger. So they did some and ha, and how could this have happened? And they eventually managed to reconstruct it. Yes, they went through Haranzul into the Hukbat home system, and racking their brains, they knew that it was only a treaty called war that is able to do this. They must have had a treaty. The only way we can't see it is if it's called non or if it's called war. So, alright, then there was a lot of diplomatic upheaval. The player of the E, Quok, the guy who made this mod, was quite disappointed. He was very disappointed that we were abusing the game mechanics to this effect, and to make it appear that we had no treaty when in fact we did. And there's going to be some script in the next version that checks if anybody is using these names that have the same title as non or war relationship statuses, because then you can see this. He's just going to have a script that'll give you like an event item, somebody's using a war treaty or a non-treaty. But in more immediate repercussions, Mr. Player of the Gurak has decided that nope, with his homeworld fallen, with the betrayal of the Slurpono now fully joining our side, he's out. He's decided that he's not going to continue playing. He's lost the game. So what I did between turns was reset the player password as the host for the Gurak, and I've given the password to the player of the E, and he is going to surrender the Gurak Empire to himself, and he is going to try and stand against the three of us, the Twilight, me, and the Slurpono Raiders. He's going to join up with the Kantara Imperium, and it's going to be a 3v2. It's still more like a 3v3 since he's still absorbing the Gurak for the remainder of this game. Alright, so there was only a moderate amount of drama that accompanied all this, and I'm very glad that the game did not end right there, because it did look like that was going to happen for a short while, and that we do indeed get to play a little more. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, stats-wise, for the E. They are in second place score-wise and such, but only barely above the stats of the Twilight. They have 63 planets. I have 122. I have 180,000 resources from planets. This is only planetary income. The Twilight have almost as much. And if you add up what Mr. Twilight and I have, we come out to some 170 planets almost, plus the 22 planets from the Slurpono. That is a lot of planets. Whereas the E and the Gurak together are just going to have like 110 plus the 20 from the Kantarans. So economically, they have a lower base. They also have fewer breathable planets, and I have that planet space trade. So the economic base is just not in their favor. That, plus needing to deal with the fallout from having a traitor in the midst, is going to make the next few turns surely very bloody. So, okay. One of the things we've settled on is that we needed to break all treaties with the Slurpono Raiders. I've broken my treaty. I adjusted the last turn I handed in, sent a break treaty message, and then I sent him a new treaty offer. This is going to be a full alliance. I'm also giving him 10% of my income as tariff because I can afford it. And the only thing I've not included is migration, so that I can keep hydrogen and methane breathing people out of the hands of the E, so that he cannot use them to more effectively utilize his planets. I think he still has some methane breathers. I think he has some migration from the zone already. It's been a week and I've already forgotten. So he should already have some methane breathers, but this way I should be able to make it as hard as possible for him to undome all his planets. He just has his own people that are carbon dioxide breathers on this world, on these worlds. What we are going to get though is finally migration agreement with the oxygen breathing Slopanor, which means that a lot of the atmospheric modification plans that we have underway are not going to be as necessary anymore, as we're going to have migration come into all these worlds. Then we can recycle some Romulans and undome some of these planets that would otherwise take another 60 turns or whatever to actually convert. All right. Does that cover everything? I think that covers everything. There was also a stipulation that the cloaked drone group that my ally had, which I can't see because it's cloaked, that was still that destroyed the homeworld and then went back to the Hawanzut system and then wanted to go into here. That had to self-destruct because using a single cloaking device to cloak an entire group is apparently also a bit of an exploit, since this drone cannot just cloak itself, but like 80 drones with just one device. So the stipulation was that he also had to destroy that. I think that's fair and fine to balance the scales a little bit, but this game is certainly going to enter its last phase, its endgame now. Now it's just remain to be seen how we manage to play this scenario, and if the E can indeed stand against us, the forces of evil, the Romulan Star Empire and the Twilight Imperium, supported by the Raiders of the Slurpanor, and if the Cantarans manage to play a role in this galactic struggle for domination. Alright, then let's jump into the regular event log. Empire News. We refitted a bunch of ships last time. The refits all went through. I know that I was not certain at all if these refits were going to go through, because it seemed to me that they were going to cost more than 50% of the new of the cost of a new vehicle, more than 150% of the initial build cost of the designs that they were, in fact. So maybe I'm not calculating the refit costs correctly. Anyway, this all worked, and I am going to surely refit a lot more ships in the near future. All these the Deridex level 1s and Mark 2s. They're coming up to the front lines. I'm going to chuck quantum engines into all of them. Alright, we have new colony, 2 new colony, 3 new colonies. That's it. Let's go deal with our new colonies. Alright, Panther, that's down here. This system, this backwater system of the zone. You are an oxygen planet. You did not receive migration yet because the treaty is not in effect yet. You have terrible values, so let's just make you a research planet. Research planet. And you can start with an Atmo plant. It's going to take a long time for regular migration to fill up all our oxygen worlds. So I'm still going to be building migration, atmospheric modification plants here for the time being. And a climate control facility, why not? And then you can start with the research. Next one, also in the system, the green world over here. Green already got population in there. It's got almost perfect organics values and more than 100% in the other ones. This would make for a very fine monolith place. Let's call it a resource colony. We designate them. We want to chuck in more organics farms. I think I overcompensated a little bit on organics farms. I have quite a bit of organic surplus now. But if I look at the numbers of facilities I'm still building, I have 200 mines, I'm building 100 more. I have 120 rats, and I'm building 60 more. I have 50 organics, and I'm only building 10 more. I think I can fill this planet up with organics. Since it is so very efficient. And why not? Let's just chuck in a value improvement plant at the bottom. Okay, what's the last new planet? That's the third planet in the system of need ores. Okay, you've got terrible values, you're unpleasant, methane. Did not receive migration, or rather I did not collect any methane breathers from the homeworld. Why ever decided to do that? It's been 2 weeks, I don't remember anymore. Let's designate you for research. Build a space yard. And research centers. Since you're going to have disloyal zone populous people on there, already queued a secret police and the planet unpleasant in the first place. Go ahead with that. Okay, that's it for the new planets. I researched armor 11, which is giving me armor 7, armor components level 7. Tech level 11 is giving me components level 7. Transferred some more gifts to the raiders. They accepted last turn. More happiness events from troops, it's fine. Anything got produced that we need to launch into orbit? Yes. This place that we conquered from the Centaurans last time. You shall launch the satellite into orbit that we built on you. Open your queue. You're going to be building a bunch of platforms next few turns. There's still the troops here. Troop ship died, so they're going to remain there. Just dig in, build defenses before the Centaurans manage to take you back. We do have our attack fleet in this place. Uh-oh. The E fleet has already come through here. That is unpleasant. Only one move away from 2. Going to be interesting. This is 9 move speed. I think it's limited. Yeah, it's limited by the 2 support ships. How fast can these all move? They could force an engagement here. That might be unpleasant. I think I simulated this last turn, and I figured out that I can take this. They had a second fleet over here somewhere that I could not. Ah, yes. Another 14 ships and 30 drones, and a fleet of a similar size as this. I think against one of these in an open space engagement, I won the simulation. The simulation was also with all the drones under their own control and not information or on the drone leader. On a Ravenhawk. Set a disarm planet, but disarm planet also means kill ship, so we can keep that. Alright. Tracking the movement log. Yeah, they just jumped in here at the end of the turn. Okay, let's check the movement log here. Look like they just jumped in at the end of the turn. Towns have some boots there. They left some mines in this place. I can only... Oh, he's even named them. How convenient. Never put that much effort into anything. Naming ships, naming unit groups. Only if I have a concrete advantage, like needing to know that this is a unit group for defense or for scouting. But 70 mines is 10 mines above what my single minesweeper in this group can mine sweep. We do 60. So I don't necessarily want to jump into there, but face tanking 10 mines, not off the question. Much more worried about this, these ships. Alright. So that's problematic. That also means they've taken a position. I just wanted to lay these mines on. Somewhat unpleasant. Oh, there's a scouty eye in there. What do I have here? A colony ship. Of course, we need to colonize these places. We have here a hawk. These are just mines. Scouter, another colony ship. Oh yeah, and you were going to run into these mines. You were the surviving minesweeper from the attack fleet. Took this planet. We have here. Okay, there's just a refining ship in deep space going towards one of these asteroid belts. Or maybe he's just moved it off an asteroid belt because he's full on rats. Shield regenerator, an explodey device, flux pods, and 6 extractors. Or remote mining. Looks like it took some damage. Even took out one of the robo miners. That's unfortunate. This seems to be his core space. All this is colonized medium planet with 2 research centers on it. Huge planet with 4 rat facilities on it. Both methane, both not populated by Zon immigrants. It also has a massive planet shield. 4 weapon plants, some Cooper troops. These are his intel centers. This must be all his intel centers. We see how much intel points he has. 290. These are level 1 intel centers. There's going to be about 6, 7 here. So 7 intel centers at 50 points should be 350. Does he have happiness problems or something? Does he have a society type that gives him less intelligence points? And his defense increased? Government intelligence defense increased? That's not intelligence points generated. No. Maybe the comparison is just showing the value from last turn when it was only 6 facilities. No, that shouldn't be. The last thing produced on here was a space yard. Things always get displayed in order. Oh well, who knows. Oh, this one is also a bit more fortified. Also an older colony of his, no doubt. He's carbon dioxide breather. He must have grabbed these at an earlier point in time. Right, I can still see the E vision. That's of course something we're also going to lose, the E vision. Gurak broke his vision a long time ago already, but we are going to lose all the free intel from the E that we got. Very next turn. It's going to be very unfortunate. And of course we're also going to lose the free intel on the Cantarans that we are getting from the E just being right next to them. He's doing a lot of remote mining with his ships. So even if his economy looks very small, just 62,000 resources produced by planets, with all these miners it might not be as bad. I should not count on the, what was it, 7 battleships or 7 ships that are on this war point to be the last. I knocked over the 2 that were here once, right? I think I did. I think I just knocked them over with the attack fleet. Alright. What other fronts do we have? You just came into this system. Still haven't colonized at least 2 worlds at least. Did we not send anything through that war point recently? No. Commander Ikiak, that was me sending my troop ships to the planet. Commander Rollo. It's me cleaning up some fighters. Now some of our scouts colliding. Right. I think there were still the 7 ships there a couple turns ago, and then I sent my my drone managed to escape, I'm gonna send it here, this way. And look at this again. 2 movements short from where it's supposed to be. Not sure why that is exactly. Should I send them into Cydonia? Which is more or less the central crossroads system towards the northeast here. Cross section of our enemies. I could send it towards E-Space. Yeah, I think now that I have the opportunity, I should. I don't know if there's any mines here. You don't see cloaked allied units or cloaked units you have vision on. No, would even give me put me that way. And I'm not sure if I can rely on the Slurper nor scouting in all the ways I would want them to. So they have a couple of things ready here. It's good. Yeah, how about you just try to aim for penetrating into the system? Okay. And what is the readiness of our forces in this place? We just built a whole bunch of these space docks, and now they are building Deridexes. I think I've stopped building more space docks there. You just got refit, you are 75% damaged. Repaired some of your engines, your guns still need to be repaired. I just got more armor tech, so I'm going to be creating a new design again. Oh yeah, I also made an experiment with this design. Didius, also direct fire drone. The new level 7 armor plates have 60 kilotons per 5 kiloton size. Not bad. I don't think I queued any anywhere, no. You're also going to get that upgrade, of course. Created 18 of these in queues. You don't have armor plates. You have one, but nobody cares about fighters. Lizard archers, I don't think I need to upgrade those anymore. Platforms, I'm building a bunch of though. Let's upgrade all our platforms real quick. At least this goes pretty quickly. And the stone gargoyles, our legacy plasma missile fences. Ships. Scroll past the gobs and gobs of colonizer variants. Our mainline warship, the Deredex. I've gotten pretty heavy on armor on these, which I think is fine. There's no crystal races amongst our enemies that have armor penetrating weapons. Shield penetrating weapons everyone can build. I think I just have that one shield in there. Yeah, I do. It's fine to put more of what your empire has onto a ship that it's good in. So if I'm good at armor, I put a lot of armor on my ships and fewer guns and shields. I think my guns are fine. But once I level up shields, I'll strive for a more balanced mix of shields and armor again. Armor just easier to get HP in. Does of course have the downside that it needs to be repaired and all that. Alright, Q. Upgrade any queues, none of them haven't started yet, okay. Then anything new we build is going to be the Derrick X. The Derrick X. I don't think we need to upgrade any other ship designs. Actually, wasn't there a Hawk somewhere down here that we were going to send back for refits? Yeah, there was. Okay. Are we going to make this thing another drone leader? What drones is it going to lead? Hey, look at the Derelicts we can also refit. Hey, look at the Derelicts we can also refit. Together with the Deridex that's already on here, this place has more than it can handle for repair rate. Can I put a repair station here? Is level 3 repair still the state of the art? Down. I mean, we really wanted to make this here, right? Make that one our fleet support point. Okay, that's it for these Deridex. What did I want to do with this Hawk? Do I have any drone groups here that I am going to lead with it? No cargo ship. I don't think I was sending much of anything down here. I was sending a few drones this way. Not sure if it's all that many. Bunch of drones here. I also had this one cloaked drone that I deleted last turn already, I believe. We also decided no more cloaked drones for the rest of this game. It's going to be patched out in future versions of Balance Mod. Okay, you still want another turn of repair there. We can do that. The Deridexes. Refit you. None of you should go to a different place. We need to give one movement order so that both of these shipyards can go and repair one of these ships. What do I do with the drones then? I'll go ahead and recover the rest of the drones and not just launch them all as one big group. Okay, I'm not sure. There are 4 drone groups here. I think last turn I also gave only one recover order. Oh yeah, I think at the start there it was like 11 and then more just moved in. Let's replay this again. Yeah, 11 and then went to 0 and then more came in, okay. So recovers all drone groups in orbit. Then we have a pretty big drone group here. If we just have them all in one big group, then it doesn't matter if we have some ion engined drones and some quantum engine drones. I can just go ahead and lead that group with a full speed Raven. Okay, Hawk 6. Let's make this a Hawk 7. Quantum engines 4. 15 speed. Yeah, can't downgrade them at all. I don't think there are any queues for these. Setting that out of practice. I guess it's good practice to just always hit that, so we never forget. I'll obsolete this intermediate 13 speed design then. Well, I'll obsolete it. Yeah, 240 armor and 240 shields. 20 kilotons of armor and 30 kilotons of shields. Alright, now that you have a design picked out for you, please go there as well. Actually, if you go to that same place that all these Dexes are refitting at, you're not going to get repaired very quickly. Go to the zone homeworld and refit there. Hawk 7. Oh, you're free. That's good. Just build another cargo ship here. Have anything in particular I want to load with this? I wasn't building mines or anything here, right? Might have wanted to carry Zorn back home with this. I think most of our planets have received migration by now. There's no need to carry them around with the transport anymore. This takes a while to load. Right, sorted by atmosphere. There's 3 planets left that have yet to receive migration. I don't know how much my ally has, but I don't think it's worth building a transport. Already built something else somewhere down here. All these colonies are new. I didn't have any time to build anything. There was a bunch of mines that I built on these 3 worlds. But I think that's just the bunch that is on this ship. I bet I said something silly like, it's always good to have a lot of cargo transports around the Empire to grease the wheels of progress. And to enable you to carry stuff to the front lines, except I don't really have anything I want to carry to the front lines right here, right now. I guess I could take some of these weapon platforms. I don't think I even built that many. You should have a bunch since you are old. No, only 2. Do you have real troops? I think I built some real troops here. Yeah. Legions. None here, none there. Okay. So you have these 2 weapon lots of 500. You have 480 kilotons worth of legions there. We don't really need to have anywhere. If I'm going to be building another boarding ship, it's going to be a battleship. What do we do with that silly transport? I could of course use it to carry drones to the front line, but that would be pointless. Carry 10 drones or something when they can just fly themselves. And faster than the ship too. Does have, yeah, it's quantum engines. Oh, I've refitted it to from Alicinius 2 to Alicinius 3, and next turn the minister will rename it. I bet I didn't know what to do with it, so I just refitted it. I'll go back towards the core system. There ought to be some world here that has mines you can collect. Yeah, go there. 3 turns from now we can decide from where you can pick up those mines. Oh, it's nice moving your problems into the future. More support ships coming along. Some drones and some David X's. Okay. This group. I think I wanted 6 space docks on here. Building 2 on the planet. I have 2 here. That is a 5th that is building on this space dock, and the 6th one is from the space dock, the 2nd. Okay. Then afterwards you can queue up another Davidex. This little fleet. Does this fleet have any point to it? Not really without these guys. But they all managed to refit just fine. Is there any final design I want to give these Pactianos? I guess now I can upgrade them further with 1 more level of armor. Obsolete that design. I think I've landed all the troops that they had. There's nothing to do but upgrade the armor 1 further level. No, it doesn't matter what you select. Just hit Control E and you need to reselect them anyway. They're all Pactianos 2/3s now. Okay. Make them all Pactianos 5s, please, and then I can go ahead and recollect their troops. For this I will need to select them again. Collect from the planet. Troops, please. Legions and lizard archers. They can be mixed, I don't really care. Didn't finish repairing yet, even with the extra space docks in orbit. Space yachts don't do that much ship repair, only 80 kilotons. But they help, of course. Alright, what do we have here? You still have a job, you don't. You have the Derridex in orbit, but you just finished that. I bet you want to build another two. You're still busy, okay. You're building research centers. There's still a bunch of colonies I can claim in the system, which I should also grab. I was just really focused on building these space yards up first here. In order to quickly push out a crushing defeat to the E, I should also attack them relatively soon. I was more or less happy with trying to claim this Kantaran space, which is not nearly as well built up or as defended as I was expecting initially. But with the diplomatic situation changing, so that the Slurpano have been found out and are going to war with the E and the remainder of the Gurak soon, I should also try and lay on maximum pressure right away, just so that he cannot take his time dismantling the Slurpano, which are more or less nestled in the midst of this E and Gurak space. I'm expecting these border Gurak colonies to all be ground up between Mystics, Onslaught, and the Slurpanos, preventing any new reinforcements from coming there. This is going to be where my ally is going to be busy for the next while. If here, a couple chips there, a couple chips there. I think he lost a colony here somewhere last time. I think he said they were all relatively newly colonized. He didn't care much about them. There's some of these small destroyer wolf packs here. I think he has max level destroyers or something, which makes them decent warships. Oh, yeah, there's his battleship fleet though. One of his battleship fleets. There's 17 ships. That's nasty. Yeah, this front is going to be fine. But I'm going to want to push into the E more and more quickly than I expected. Alright, let's take care of the rest of our systems first. What were we doing? I was upgrading some silly warships in our Tentrabri system here, right? Silly little warships. You still needed upgrades. The Derridexes. We have here drones. How about you go down there? Yeah, they're piles, whatever. Defensive drones can go towards that invasion fleet. There's only a secondary fleet. I don't think I'll do much invasion anymore. And if there is, likely with bigger ships. I'm going to have a bunch of drones that are going to join the Derridex fleet that will mass here as supporting units. And I don't have any the Derridex that are going to reach there right away. The homeworld here wanted orders. It'd be fine if you just build a few space docks, like 7 is a good number. How about you build 5, and then you can build 3 more with the first 3 that finish. Just having more space docks about is good. If the roller system falls and the Pelagi system falls and Mr. E pushes in here, and then you can push upwards here, where of course have Tentrabri can send reinforcements down, but I also have something here to build new ships in a little bit less forward position as a fallback. And just to increase general production, which is good. I don't think we fully went through this list, did we? But there's nothing else I need to launch into orbit. A refining station has been built. Oh, first 12k income from refining. It's fine. An operation there. What do we do with the last one in here? I guess this will also be a refining station. Oh, there, please. What is our homeworld doing? Also building warships. You have those on repeat. Ah, yeah. It's the old dance. You need to replace the under construction drones. And repeat build orders. We just upgraded you. You're not going to drop methane breathers on here? Yeah, we did. You need to do something else than build Piuses. Didn't click it correctly. There you go. You don't have zone people on here and you're unpleasant, so you're going to need police troops. You already have police troops. And you are going to want, well, what? You don't really need to build organics. I just queued, what, 12 more farms on 149% place. So I'll just use you and queue rats facilities. 24 of them, please. That'll take forever. Alright, we had an event here. Things are no less pleasant. You're populated by Zorn. So yeah, go ahead and give you some 200, not 2000 police troops. I already queued, there was no need for me to do that. Yes, queue is correct. One place that wants orders, build some of these. Actually build some of these, just to mix it up. Nothing else I needed to get launched into orbit or the likes. We did not do anything with our research. Apparently did very good math and only reached level 11 armor just very barely. And I was deciding to go into shields afterward. I've already improved the HP of my ships. I don't think I really need to improve shields with any urgency now that I have the armor. But is there anything else I need to improve? The scenario I was preparing for was fighting all these very accurate phase disruptor guns from the Cantarans. So I was not going to go for ECM, rather for tanking. If the Cantarans upgrade their guns, they could do armor and shield skipping weapons. In which case the armor would help me somewhat if I placed bulkheads in, and the shields would not help me at all. But really the counter to skipping weapons is just killing the enemy faster and more quickly. So upgrading weapons instead. I'm going to be fighting the E now. How does that change the equation? Mostly use what, plasma missiles and APBs and maybe some high energy guns. Show me. Oh, they have it organized into fleet, 3 task forces. Plain to see. All the drones are in a task force without a lead ship, so they're going to act independently in combat. Here's EDAMs and Peewees. And light carrier Mofuri. I don't think I can see into that, right? EDAMs are these 3 plasma missile ones. It's just a pretty standard carrier, I would say. Peewees are PD ships with some APBs, okay. Yeah, nothing outrageous there. He has also got a few more levels of combat sensors than we do. I know that we were also worried about them getting wave motion guns, in which case ECM would actually help, even on big-ass battleships. Or what else do we have in options? My ally wanted to get power leech up soon. We could get bombardment weapons up higher to get the anti-cargo bombardment weapons. And our enemies already have these. And when I check their levels, we could get smaller weapons. Sure, just a level of smaller weapons to unlock the next level of plasma missiles and APBs. Here you go, 14%. We can already unlock them. There's not much reason not to take a level of small weapons, so we can put these on our troops. Phased weapons, nobody of them is using, only shields. Could of course invest into high energy discharge weapons ourselves. Could get, what was it, ABB 7 that had the maximum range that they could get. I think it was 7 or 9. Range is important after all. If we want to get more range, we should probably upgrade heavy ship weapon mounts even higher. Could make our warships more efficient. Getting a few levels of large ship construction. 10,000 more per level, that's of course expensive. Or I could get a couple levels of applied research. I like that idea. Finally unlock those research directorates, which are going to be even more of a bonus. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's get these up to level 5 or 6. Boost that research output. We have even more. Up until now, our enemies had a bit of a research advantage. Partially because in tech levels here they got this bump when the zone gave them all their tech. Partially just because the tech generation of them is keeping pace. I have 22k, allies 5k, that's 27, say 28k. If you get the Slurpees, it's on 22k. That is good. Together they have 18k. Together with the Kantarans, they have 19k. Okay, if you discount the Slopanos, which up until now have contributed their 4,000 research points to the other side, then it was pretty balanced. Now with them on our side, it is not anymore. That's good. We're going to need to coordinate our research with them. I'm going to go and chat later after I process the turn and everything, and going to make a research plan for what we want and what we need, which is most likely going to be dictated by immediate needs that the Slopano have for technology. Once our treaties come into effect that we offered them, he's going to get a ton of technology transfer. We are going to get a ton of technology transfer. And our priorities are going to change. Actually, right, since we're going to get so much technology transfer, I don't think I need to research shields. We're going to get a couple levels of shields anyway. Do they have small weapons up level at level 3 or more? We don't have a treaty anymore, so I only get 50% of Orions. Smaller weapons 3. Smaller weapons 2. Smaller weapons 4. Yeah, I don't think I need to get points into small weapons either, okay. I'll just dump it all into applied research. Some of the estimates again. They don't have applied research above 3, do they? Applied research 1. Flight research 3. Flight research 3. So I probably have it at 2 or 3. Okay. That's it for tech choice. And let's go give orders to individual things. What are we going to do with these drones here? We're just going to sentry them. You two are just going to refit and sentry. We're going to go there. We discussed that. We're just going to give you an order to stay where you are. You two are going to refit. But go there first before you refit, then you can refit where all the shipyards are. They're not repair docks, but it should still repair these ships a lot faster. I wonder if I'm going to need to kick off another big refit wave once we have all the technology coming in from their side. Well, now I'm doing it for the engines, and then I'll probably do it for high-level guns or wave motion guns. Or at least incinerator beams. Yeah, we need to do what to do. I need to decide what to do with this immediate face-off, but I was going to leave that for later. We have here a scout. Scouts are always good. Scout coming here. Can go there. Stare down at our scout. The Sinios. What's upgraded to level 3 to quantum engines. Pretty sure I distinctly made you to collect these minefields that I produced here though. So you would do that. With what they had happen in their space, I've also considered making some random minefields on my warp points inside my empire. Not necessarily because I'm scared of my ally betraying me or anything. Although I think I do have... No, I just have one single drone here. I don't have anything between me and him, but having some internal barriers in the empire to section it off a little bit to things like cloaked scouts or ships that get transported there via events or surprise warp point opening invasions. Those things can be made harder by just having a few minefields around. I think one such minefield is going to be there. The next such minefield is going to be between us on this side. Sure, let's make it there. Alright, then you're gonna have to go fish for the next planet full of mines. Any more planets full of mines over here? Oh, sure we do. One more. After that, after you put these two minefields into the midst of Empire, you can go pick up that ship again and go further south. I think a minefield here would be quite nice. Just to catch anything that manages to penetrate into there. And then in 10 turns from now, I would like to have a separate minefield here, which I can then go collect. So how about you stop, repeat production, and build what however many can one of these Licinius 3s carry. 187 mines. They're there already. It's going to take a little longer than the ship will take to get here, actually. Well, I suppose I can deal with that. I suppose I could build somewhere up here on a place with a shipyard. Or down here on a place with a shipyard. But I'd rather use the planets that don't have shipyards. You're going to be dominated Deridex though, so Q a new one. Oh, you're building quite a few of these. I do have quantum force on these. Whatever, I'll go ahead and delete that under construction stack. Q12 new ones individually so I can upgrade them individually. Yeah, I think there's a pretty new colonies still building up. There's this system, which also had a bunch of unclaimed places yet. One of them I could make breathers, the methane ones. Not some planet beyond there. I need to put in a small flags for this ship set. Okay, you were building an... You were both building support ships, good. Okay, what do we have here? Malfador. You both stay where you are. This asteroid belt wants to receive a mining station. We'll just build this. It's gonna take 8 turns to just build this and have the repair ship already here. Yeah, go ahead and build this e-build for 3 turns. That's fine. That's lower value. That's a 4th asteroid belt in the system. What are you looking like? You are fully finished, you are fully finished, and you're fully repaired. So you can go and, no, not warp, wait, go move to warp point 2, go to that last asteroid belt. A little less great values. But I suppose I can still make this. I can still make this a rats facility. Or miner if I so desired. You are fully repaired. This ship. What do I do with this? Did I pair this up with a constructor originally? This is one of the large ones. You don't need one. I think I'll just go ahead, plug in new engines and send you towards the front. Nice thing is you can repair your own engines. I can immediately give you the order to go to the front actually. Where do we go? Pelagia, Texwac, Tenchibrai. Pelagia is down there. Texwac's down there. I think we go down to Pelagia. Towards, who knows what the front will look like here in 12 turns. Okay, all your drones were going to stay here. Going to be recalled in the next turn, assuming there isn't any more arriving. We'll just launch this all as a big 50 drone group. 50-60 drones. And you're still going to stay there for 2% to repair. The Davidex got refit. And use another makeover to its armor plates while it's important, has all its shit repaired. So I have 4 turns. How about moving to waypoint 3 and then to waypoint 1? That's interesting. How about you just move there and have that ship refit your engines? How about you just move there and have that planet refit your engines using all the available repair facilities here? You're just building Piuses. You just got built. We're immediately going to refit your engines. Okay, what do we do with the cargo transport up here now? There any troops, not troops, or any units in general we want to carry to the front. We have mines, weapon platforms, and could carry a couple. How about use build 4 more weapon platforms, and we can have a little weapon platform. Drop package. Because I'm going to need to finish first. It'll take a while. Then the other weapon platforms we can carry home, or carry towards the front in this very safe backyard home system. I don't think so. What's this place building? Just houses. Position of our oldest atmospheric modification plan. I eventually want to give this to my ally so I can use the system modifiers on this thing more effectively. This thing being the planet. Alright, let's go through our empire and replace all the pious orders. Actually, I'm not going to do a system by system, I'm going to do it like this. And it keeps a repeat build. I think last time I used the add to all, the multi-select add to all, and the repeat build got removed from everything. This is riveting gameplay. This is why I do not like to have empires that are much bigger than the one I have right now. 100 some planets is quite enough for a large empire. I don't need to play large maps. Imagine how much this would suck if we do it for 50 planets instead of the 20 or something I have building drones on repeat. Of course, there's some Pirates 9 ones as well. Or you can finish that one, I guess. There you go. Sort it back to construction time. And we have just one planet that's out of a job. Needs new orders over here. I'm guessing you just finished building all these secret police troops. With some drones. Direct fire drones, just to mix them in all the drone groups. Alright, what still needs orders? This fleet, you scout over here. With the immediate loss of sight on the E and everything E, I'm going to want to send a lot more scouts out. Which means I need to build a lot more scouts soon. These space dogs weren't ready yet, right? But I just queued up a few derelict here. I can probably replace these with scouts. Eagles, they're fine. You just finished building one ship. You can start an eagle. That's a couple on this front. Shipyards down here, yeah. I'd rather have the repair facility there right now. I don't necessarily need the mineral miners right away. Remember how 2 systems up I used the first 2 shipyards that I built to build ships forever instead of facilities. I hope it's not going to be that situation again. Why do you just queue 2 at once? We decided we were going to make you our new construction place, which makes sense on a homeworld. You keep doing that. People are happy with the loyalties down. You're already building ships, they're already under construction. You're not though. You build another. You can hardly ever have enough scouts. They tend to die very quickly, and having few around the system to keep an eye on every planet, chase fleets, send them into neighboring systems. It's always better to have one more than you need than one too little. And I think the 5 or what I queued now are not going to be enough. Right. We still have 2. What are we going to do with this one? There's nothing in the system. I think there would be something to be gained from sending it towards E-space here. Since they are likely our most relevant opponent in the next time, in the coming time. Yeah, you go around that, do you? Then yeah, go there. Nebula that looks like that look like this are these coronal mass ejections. They, I think, always damage ships. Then still the scout upstairs here. Yeah, this place is of course in a troubled situation. Freshly colonized, there's nothing on it. Going to get destroyed by this carrier next turn once the treaty between the Slurpano and the E breaks. But he has some fleets here, even some gifted Gurak ships, which he surely regrets now. Okay. Oh, look at this. Now this we want to keep an eye on. Surely they have been moving. Yeah, they have been moving, so they're going to come into the system, so we don't need to send the scout to meet them. You can probably just stay right here. These are his scout drones. They have tachyon sensors, but of a level too bad, or too low to detect these. I'll just go there. Or whatever, I'll just go and tile up, I guess. We're gonna see them come through the warp point. And then it's just you two. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and set up the simulation again. Nine ships, Edams, 3 Peewees, 2 Peewees, 3 Peewees. A carrier. And how many drones was this? 20? 26? Gonna look at what the carrier can carry. I'm going to add some relevant fighters to that. I can set this to a fleet too, I suppose. One fleet will be enough. Oh, we had a support force as well. I think the carrier was in the main fleet. Oh, they have 11 speed, that's not good to see. I was at 9 speed because of my support chips. But I'm doing a simulation to see if I need to be scared of them or not. Set cargo. Where are E-fighters? Furies. Sure, small incinerator beam. Wasp beam. Plasma missiles. Let's assume he has plasma missiles loaded. 28. And add whatever I have there. I'm not sure about the exact mixture of that fleet, but it's mostly older drones. I think it was like 2/3 Neros. There's 51 drones. Sure. Add up to 51. And add to, what is it? Kitty Hawks, Raven Hawks. Create us a fleet as well. Unfortunately, I can only have one bigger strong group in there. And let's give it the correct strategy as well and the correct formation. But the formation will matter if I only have one drone group. Just to simulate the conditions of that battle as well as we can. It does look like it's a few drone groups, but it's just one. The few drones behaving a little bit differently in their movement. Not different speeds, right? He's launching fighter waves. I think I saw that. Oh, I forgot to add the drones for him. Ah. I remember last time I sent this, the drones were great at absorbing fire from our drones. What were his drone designs? Drody, right? Was a level 8 Ripper Beam. Nice. B, 2D, something like that. Great, now they are scattered all over the map. Okay, but it looks like I'm engaging them separately. Oh yeah, and if you enter exit and enter simulation, the drones for some reason are out of supplies. You know what, I'm just going to go look at the simulation at the last turn. Or how many turns ago it was. Alright, I found the recording from last turn. It really was just last turn, it's just been a couple of days since I've played this. So let's see what we did. Accelerate this a little bit. Play speed. Yeah, there's the drone stream format. Their drones were just very good at absorbing that. Either with the point defense or just face tanking it. But just this one fleet was fine. Of course, in reality, I'm not going to have as concentrated drones as they are in the simulation, because they are in one drone group, and in reality I have them in like 12 drone groups. But they're still going to be in formation, so I think it's going to be fine. Let's close this, go back to our own game. Whatever, I'll just engage before they can actually move into each other. So, between turns, we've of course talked about the game and the situation and everything, and for a while, for a couple of days, it looked like we were just going to end the game. And I was joking with my counterpart here, with Quok, the E Empire, about how I saw the fleets that he had coming here, because of course we had vision on him, and that I'd simmed my fleet against his. I'm not sure exactly into what detail I went, but I definitely told him that I have a force here to meet him. And I think I also said I could not take both fleets combined, so I think I definitely want to engage this. Before he takes that advice to heart and combines his 2 fleets into one. That said, he did since have time to redo his turn files and use that time. So if he does try to retreat next time, I guess I'll see. So I should try to engage. I think we're both 11 speed, so I'm going to ditch these 2 9-speed ships. Try and catch him. So my fleet has 11 speeds. I'm going to give 2 attack orders onto this place. Afterwards. I don't want to jump in. I'm not going to give an attack seek order just in case they do get away. Afterwards, you just stay there. Yeah. Nothing else to do. These 2 support ships can just stay here for now. There's nothing else I need to repair or anything with these. The damage that was in this fleet once has been mostly repaired by the repair ship. That's very good. Suppose in case they do get destroyed, it would be nice if you were a tile further away. Okay, what do I do with you? I think I already dropped mines here, yes. Maybe I should drop mines up to the north, JP. Nothing down here, it's just a nebula. I can either be conservative and drop them here, or I can be greedy and try to drop them further into the system. I don't know if there's anything here. But I also know that the Cantawans are not really widely spread. I'll be greedy and drop them there. For some reason I feel uncomfortable moving across that planet. Did I have vision on this recently? Do I know there's no colony there? Pretty sure there's nothing going to be on these. I must have seen that when I came in. Okay. Then that should be it for this turn. We still have gobs and heaps of resources left over. Research is going to be applied research. We have set this engagement to happen, and now we're not expecting much else combat to happen, at least with our empire this turn. We're going to be seeing the breakout of hostilities between the Gurak and the remainder of the United Blades Federation very soon, though. So next time is going to be interesting.